Hey, it's Lux, and I'm hanging out at Alumni St. Louis with the gentlemen of Switchfoot. They are playing a show and premiering their documentary, movie, film tonight. So we thought I would bring them here to have some St. Louis food because they're from San Diego. San Diegans?
San Diego.
San Diego. How do you, I mean, like...
Agree to disagree.
But I thought maybe you should enjoy some St. Louis food, and we'd chat about the new flick and the new album. The EP came out on Tuesday. It's got 4 songs on it. Mm-hmm. One of them's the B track. So people can, this is kind of confusing to me, people can download it, and then when the rest of it comes out January 14th, it just automatically, they get
magic.
the rest of it?
It's magic. You just wake up one day,
you guys are all going to snap
record.
simultaneously, and it's just going to be like there. Is that how this works?
Yeah.
So whose idea was this to do like the EP and drop that out first, and then...
Drew? Chad? Tim?
No,
we don't know. We have a team of scientists that think
they're back there pouring things into beakers, and they're like, I got this idea.
And we just couldn't wait till January was what it came down to. You know, the album's coming out in January, and we're like, oh, we're on tour. Let's get the music out there. So,
and
we're impatient.
It's one of those things where, you know, we don't know anyone else who's done a film and a record, so we're thinking, wow. There's no right way to do this. Let's see how this goes.
This is a very unique experience. I'm really looking forward to being one of the first viewers, just audience, to check it out. I know you guys mentioned that you premiered it at the X Games. So, you saw it with the industry professionals and friends of the band and such, but this crowd here in St. Louis is going to be the first of just the listeners, the fans to see it. Are you nervous for it tonight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we started, for everyone out there, we found out that you graduated with a major?
Yeah, it's media communications, but my emphasis is film theory and criticism.
Especially
emphasis on criticism.
And documentary is my thing. So I'm that person at home at Netflix watching documentaries. I'll probably watch yours 50 times after I get it. So.
See, I wasn't nervous until I knew that. I'm a little nervous.
Well, what was the movie making process like, being film stars now? I mean, it's got to be kind of along the same lines of being in the public eye as a musician, as an artist, but a little bit different now that you have a camera in your face all the time.
It was nerve-wracking to have cameras in your face when you're just off the cuff, just talking in a van, and to watch the movie back and think, oh man, I could have said that differently.
Or waking up.
Oh yeah, Drew.
No, waking up with a camera.
Good morning. It's right there. Are there any places they didn't go with you where you're finally after 6 p.m. we need an hour to ourselves or something?
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't reality TV. We were strategic about bringing them to places that we felt would really benefit the film. Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Indonesia.
Just little places like that. Why don't you just show up over here? We're going to be in Australia. So
well, the dream was to build the tour around surf spots. That was, something we've been talking about and laughing about for years. Wouldn't that be great? And to actually do it is a dream come true.
Yeah, because you guys are real big surfers. So I think in the film we're going to see a little bit of the connection between your surf life and then the artist life. How do you guys feel like the two are connected? I mean, obviously it's inside you, but...
Yeah, surfing I think has a lot of connections with music. One of the things Rob Machado points out in the film, for everyone in the middle of the country, they might not know who Rob is, but he's this icon in surfing, and he points out the idea that in music and in surfing there's no rules. There's ultimate freedom. You can pick up a guitar and you want to play it backwards, you want to plug it into something that no one's ever done, go for it. And I think the same is true in the water. You're out there, there's a horizon, you want to keep paddling, go for it. There's no law telling you what you're supposed to do. There's no lines. So for me as a musician, that's the draw for both of those areas.
You guys have been a band for a really long time. But back in the day, I'm sure you guys opened for bands, and then that band is no longer around. It's 8 records, right? You guys have put out? Yeah. So is this going to be 9?
Yeah.
That's not an accomplishment every band makes it to, so congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, how long have you guys been together, officially as a group?
Since we were children.
We were born in the
child.
We are all brothers of this great earth.
No, I mean, I think, it started out for Tim and I. He is my literal brother.
No, really? You
Yeah.
guys semi have a little bit. I can see it. I can see it a little bit.
Yeah.
Me and drummer brothers, too.
Right?
That's right.
Absolutely. Now, this I definitely
uncanny.
believe. This is real.
Twins, actually.
Yeah.
So, you know, we started in Led Zeppelin cover bands back in
Amazing.
junior high, and you don't know at the time what you're getting into. You're just doing it because you love it. And I think the trick is over the course of the 8 records, how do you keep that joy, you know, that feeling of I'm doing this because I love it, and so I think that's what our challenge is whenever we approach our instrument or a new record or a new tour. How do we keep this fresh, you know? And the film was a big part of that.
Yeah, and we wrestled with it in the film. You know, every time you leave home, you want to make it count. We love what we do, but at the same time, we're fathers now, and like the picture keeps changing, and so you want to make it count when you're spending time away from home. And
I made a note of that in the trailer, and watching the trailer. Do you have 2?
I have 2.
There was a cute little pumpkin on the back of a bicycle, just melted, which every girl's gonna go, ah, that's so cute.
Yeah.
So for the course of a year, I mean, and you said New Zealand, Australia, did they get to come along? Did the families get to come along for some periods of it, or do you just sadly miss everybody for months on end and then finally get to come home and take a break?
No, we'd come home throughout the year. Yeah.
That's
we
good.
were gone for a full year.
It was crazy.
We had a great time.
My child is not walking. Last time I was crawling.
Well, that's the magic of film. It just appears that we were gone for a
It just
year.
makes you look like you were gone the entire time. I should have known. With my degree, I should have known better that this was real movie magic. So, what do you guys, how did they feel about being in the spotlight? And obviously, I mean, if I saw her, is the little girl,
funny.
she's in the trailer.
Yeah.
What did they think of the cameras being in their face?
It was funny. I'll tell a quick story.
Please do.
So, we were trying to film a scene of me leaving, which I was about to do. But, so I sat my kids down on the couch, and the camera guy was really far away so that maybe they wouldn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey guys, I'm leaving for a pretty long stretch of tour right now. And, I'm going to miss you guys. And we were just going to catch the emotion of it. Then my middle daughter goes, hey, Dad, that's a tiny microphone on your shirt, huh? I was like, all right, kids, you're right. This is ridiculous.
After that, did they pretty much get used to for what little part? Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure you weren't in their face the whole time.
Oh, they
but-
have fun.
but I bet they
Actually
liked
had
it.
them sing on a song.
Did you really?
Which was really, really fun.
Yeah, the
And
song.
we're gonna have to wait till January 14th for this to come out, though, right?
No,
This is one of the ones. Okay,
It's out
good.
now.
Yeah,
Okay,
who we
good.
are. That's them in
Single.
the background.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the. I like the official video. The new music video is out for
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
song. It's
Yeah.
pretty dope. Is that just clips of the movie and stuff?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
I was like, this doesn't seem like the traditional Switchfoot
No.
video. There's not as much performance aspect. This is more like it looks kind of like the mini documentary, if you will, to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they sang on it.
Yeah,
That's so cute.
because it's one of those things where you want to, that song especially, you want to evoke the wonder that we had when we first started off. I just remember throwing all the gear in a rented minivan and going out the door and touring for months on end, and that idea that you can actually conquer the world, you can actually change something. And that's kind of what the song's about, and we thought, well, who better to kind of evoke that wonder and that hope than these
The
kids?
littles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so good.
It was pretty fun because I heard the song for the first time on the radio the other day, and my son was with me. He's like, "That's me!"
Oh
you know?
no, that's so good.
That's cool.
Pretty great.
One
That's
of the
cool.
DJs at our radio station is in Story of the Year, and his daughters did some like gang vocals on something, and I was like, do they really like get it? He's like, they don't. They'll go on tour, they'll go places to see Daddy's at Warped Tour, and they don't. Just they're so young at this point that they just don't really fully realize. But it's so great that he's like, I'm on the radio. That's
Yeah.
me. When he gets older, he's gonna be like, I was on the radio once. He's gonna use that to pick up a chick. You know that, right? He's gonna be like, you should hear this song I did when I was like 9.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
please enjoy. Yeah.
I got a
I'm a
soccer
rock
trophy.
star.
Really? I was on the radio.
Yeah, right? I'm a recording artist. What can you do? I'm sorry. You play kickball, tetherball, whatever.
I've sold 1.3 million copies.
Sorry. Well, I love the new song. It still feels like it's in the vein of Dark Horses, which is, I think, by far my favorite of your guys' songs. I love a lot of them, but that one, when it came out, especially St. Louis really took hold of that song because it was the year that we were so far behind in the series, St. Louis Cardinals.
Yes.
And it was like, They're like, there's no way. We're like, so many games out. There's absolutely no way. And we literally, the team, and I say we as if I'm on the team.
You
all
were a big part
all-
of it.
You
a
and
big part of
David
it.
Freeze, I think, single-handedly.
all St. Louisans feel like we're all the Cardinals. But it's like, climbed back. So there's this great like montage YouTube video, and whoever put it together used Dark Horses. So, and they played it now. So now every
I saw
time.
that video. Somebody showed it to me.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
think I
good.
played it for you.
It was like they extended the song.
Yeah.
It's
because-
like they like cut it halfway through and then like put 2 more choruses
Yeah, it's
in.
like
They added their
we
own
need,
stuff.
you know, we
Yeah.
do what we need to do. And somebody took the liberty to like
Love
borrow
it,
that.
love it. Yeah.
I look over at the, you know, the gentleman in the back of label management going, they did what to our song? Like, sorry.
No, I mean normally you get like a little snippet of your song in it and you wish it was longer.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
we
like,
used,
no, you
this is the entire song, and it's
you
like
played it twice.
the greatest comeback in history, and getting to bring that all full circle and bringing David back to meet you guys last time you guys were in town. That dude just wants to surf with you so bad, and like
Do it.
He's
Yeah.
he's a cool dude.
that's so amazing because you're not from here, so it's nice to have people like really like coming here. It'd be terrible to like skip St. Louis.
Right.
Yeah.
And the fact that you guys are kicking it off here tonight, I know that there was a campaign where people could vote and say, come to my city. And I found it on your website and I posted it. And I kind of feel partially responsible for the fact that you guys are here in St. Louis.
You are.
I
Nice
think
work.
I'm just going to go ahead and
You're
like, not
For-
break my arm, patting
like-
myself on the back
You're
about
like
this.
Forrest Gump. You're the reason the Cardinals won the World
Right?
Series. The
Yeah.
reason we're here.
Pretty much
Playing in your city.
everything, except for the bad things. Like, please don't blame like tornadoes and stuff on me. Like, but I'll take credit for all the good stuff that you guys coming to St. Louis tonight. But obviously, that's got to be kind of cool that your fans in every city demanded that you come and show this film and like be here tonight. So the people who are going to be there tonight aren't just like, oh, you know, hey, I heard there's a concert, I might just go. These are like legit Switchfoot fans. So I guess it's going to mean probably more when you see them see the film and then perform afterwards.
Yeah.
It's pretty, I think it's an intimate setting from what I gather from the website. I have not been to this little chapel that's at Missouri Baptist.
It's like a theater.
It's
Yeah. We wanted to
it seems
play-
like an intimate situation though. I'm pretty stoked on seeing a real intimate
Yeah.
concert since the last time it was pretty big at the pageant.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we tried to pick places that would accommodate both the music and the film portion, you know, and that limits it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then we saw all these old venerable theaters that were playing and we thought, man, what if we really leaned into that? And so we kind of make the stage look like a set of a film.
I can't wait.
And we play these songs stripped down, and it's pretty incredible.
The songs are stripped down, not us.
No, we don't play stripped down.
I'm a little bit less
point.
excited.
I was getting worried.
All of a sudden,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
20% less excited,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
still excited nonetheless.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I guess we're all stripping down. Let's do this,
Anything to sell tickets.
right?
Well, and the funny thing too is that we actually brought more gear for this tour than ever in order to
For
do
this-
a small intimate thing because you know we wanted to really make the stage look special. So we brought all these kind of props and movie lights and
I can't-
Costumes,
I
makeup.
can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh my god, amazing.
Set
I want
changes.
like little chairs with stars on the back of them with your names. And I want you to sit with your back to us and just like, make the drum one really small. Like it's like you know, you guys on like the stools. Get a really small director's chair with like your
Yeah.
star on the back of
Yeah,
it,
to
just
welcome people.
out there drumming.
We did bring a couple props from the film. One of the scenes in the film is one of the most terrifying experiences of my life, paddling out in South Africa in some pretty giant waves, and while we were out there, this set came through and snapped my board, and kind of stranded me in the middle of the ocean out there, and we
Where's
brought,
the video? Do they get to intervene? Are they just like, we got to see what happens?
Let him go, let him go.
Hey guys, send me another board. They're like, this is good. This is really
he
good.
may not make it out of this.
Yeah, I know, right? No, so
This is our Oscar. Hold tight frame.
let's hope he doesn't pull through. I mean, yeah.
From the makers of Alive, the cannibalistic movie.
No, yeah, so we brought. I made it. So I survived.
I was gonna say, he's
Believe it
here,
or not,
he's good.
Spoiler alert. And we brought the board that snapped. So
Oh,
our
that's
friend
awesome.
Dougal from South Africa, it's his board. He actually flew to the States and brought it with him. And
Oh my god,
so
that's amazing.
maybe on
Paddled
stage.
from South Africa.
Paddled on a broken board.
You should send the crew with him.
That's the film.
Oh, that's
That's
the real
the
one.
film.
That's the one.
This has nothing to do with Switchfoot except
From
for the board.
makers of Castaway,
Crossing
we
the
bring you.
Man, I want to work for this guy.
So where you got to tell me where the best waves were, so that if I
Bali.
ever
Bali.
learn and perfect my chops by the age of 60 and I'm ready to
Surfing
take it
chops,
to the
I like
next
that.
to the next level,
Yeah.
where would I go?
Bali.
Bali?
Nice.
Indonesia.
Any place truly disappointing where you're like, man, I heard this is so great, and the weather wasn't for whatever reason. So I know it's weather dependent, isn't it? Right? I mean, for the most part,
I mean,
are there waves?
You know, we didn't get great waves in Australia, but there's so many other great things about it. Like we're not complainers.
Yeah.
We
It was
love
terrible. We
what
saw
get to
kangaroos,
do.
but we didn't
Yeah,
surf. Like,
exactly. Can't believe the waves weren't any
this
good.
is terrible. Leave Australia and never coming back here again.
Right.
No,
Good day to you.
Yeah.
Any chance we can get in the water is a good thing. You know, even on this tour, we're going to be planning to, you know, maybe get in the water 3 or 4 times on the East Coast.
Yeah.
It's good because the Mississippi's no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Not this time of
I'm
year.
glad you guys love us for so many reasons, but we're so landlocked.
You are.
That surfing
Clearly.
is totally like an other world to me. Like I almost can't imagine doing it because we don't get that. We don't have mountains, really.
In a
So
world.
we have the St. Louis Cardinals, and that's about it, and a lot of flat ground.
We got the
And a lot of
Padres
concert venues
and
for you
the
guys to
ocean.
come.
Hey, you can't